here we go. Both guys are definitely ready to fight. I know Dennis was very, very motivated. He had a great training camp, trained really hard for this fight, and I expect nothing less from Gilvan, too, as well.
DINIS PAIVA has a little extra motivation in his corner in Sergeant Jake Aiken for Cumberland, Rhode Island. He's actually a disabled war veteran who saw DINIS PAIVA fight in June, was so motivated by Dennis that he actually rededicated himself to his physical therapy. He and Dennis have now become close friends, and Sergeant Jake Aiken is here in attendance tonight cheering on his new favorite fighter, and Dennis said he has drawn a lot of motivation from that.
Awesome. It's a great story.
We'll see how that works out for him against Gilvan Santos. Again, both fighters coming out aggressive. Probably a lot of nervous energy too, Greg, given where they are in their careers and what they want to accomplish.
Both these guys want to win. Gilvan's coming out switching stances, though, from left to right, as Dennis is the southpaw. Dennis looking to take this fight to the ground.
Picks him up and just drops him. Santos tried a spinning kick, and Paiva caught him in midair and drove him against the cage.
Spinning Anthony Pettis jump kick. It was pretty interesting.
He really got high off the ground there, but to no avail. And now Paiva trying to dictate the pace here.
See, I think in this one, Paiva knows that you know, his Achilles heel, Santos is on the ground. So Paiva really wants to get a win and get his career back on track. So
Santos just pops right back up.
Yep, excellent job by Santos using the fence.
Now the fight back in the center of the cage, just under a minute and a half into the opening round.
See, now Gilvan's such a tough matchup because he moves around so much and he throws so many different weapons at you. It's very hard to establish a jab. DINIS PAIVA's got a great jab, but it's hard to get that and keep that going.
Catches him with a right hand, almost sort of caught him.
But look how busy Gilvan Santos stays on his back. He's constantly throwing kicks. Yeah. He's constantly wants to get back to his feet. Very dangerous when you get a guy like that does not stop moving.
It's tough. You're trying to gain that mount. You can walk into a kick right to the chest. But Paiva actually got in between.
And Gilvan's doing the right thing. He's holding his head down. He's putting him in almost like a guillotine like that. Just he doesn't want to let Dennis posture up and beat him up.
Keep your chin close to your chest.
Yep.
I'll let him get his neck.
It looks like he's actually spinning for an arm lock.
2 minutes into round number one. Paiva off to a solid start.
You're gonna look. Dennis is gonna want to look to posture up and try to rain down some punches. He's gonna want to tripod up, like we saw earlier with Billy Giovanella. He's gonna want to try to do something like that. But Gilvan's gonna try to stall him like this, keep his head down, keep controlling his arms so he can't really do anything. Can't, land any significant damage.
Paiva trying to work the rib cage. It's going downstairs, then trying to come back up top. See if he can soften up Santos' defense.
But Santos is doing a good job off his back, not letting him get too much damage going on there. He's landing some body shots. He just throws a couple of elbows down there from his back.
Even though Paiva's really dictated the pace, like you said, not a lot of damage really being inflicted here.
Yep. Oh, he's got to watch out for those up kicks too. Santos really throws those. They're crazy.
Almost caught him upstairs with one. Santos pops right back up onto his feet. 2 minutes to go in round number one.
Both of them in that lefty southpaw stance. Nice front kick from Santos, trying to keep him at bay. Nice leg kick. Paiva's used to those after his last fight, so he's worked on that a lot, checking those leg kicks. See, great job moving back. He does not want to take too many of those. But it almost looks like he's a little bit gun shy. This style that Gilvan has, he causes guys to hesitate a little bit. It's very difficult to fight a guy like this.
He's very awkward. He just snaps off those kicks.
Nice leg kick.
He's going high and low with those kicks, Greg.
Nice, big lunging and hook. But Dennis is going to start to get that jab going. He's got such a fast jab. He's got to start doubling in like that. Throw simple punches straight down the pipe.
Just flip Santos over.
Now he's in the north-south position. Santos is trying to regain the guard back here. But Dennis is still staying in that north-south position. Could be looking for a head and arm choke here.
Santos certainly as comfortable as anybody on the ground.
Yep.
And you can really see it here in this open
Dennis
round.
is still trying to hold his legs and pass right to side control. But Santos is, to his credit, he does not stop moving on the ground. He's very hard to keep down.
Just under 1 minute to go.
Dennis, he sneaks his hand underneath. He's going to start to land some knees, and he's probably going to try to step over the mount after he lands a couple of knees. Knees to the ribs. Now he's back to the north-south position.
Paiva, if anything, has made it difficult for Santos to gain any momentum.
Well, I think he's doing the smart thing, because if you can get a guy like Santos on the ground, you can hold him down a little bit. You don't have to do any crazy damage, but you can get him breathing a little bit heavy and slow him down a little bit. Gilvan is most dangerous right when the bell rings in the first round. But he's starting to land these knees to the body. That's going to take a toll, and that's going to,
Well, there's also an age difference here, too. Santos,
Absolutely.
34 years old, Paiva, 23. We figure that as the fight goes on, but
Hey,
we
but
never
it
know
hasn't mattered in the first couple of fights.
has not made any difference early on here. And that'll do it for round number 1. Solid opening for Dinis Paiva, but Gilvan Santos not backing down yet.
Gilvan has definitely come to fight, but that's a smart round by Paiva.
We'll see what round 2 has in store. Let's see if we can now listen into Dinis Paiva's corner with head trainer Keith Allen.
And roll elbows over the top. Okay? Nice and just like you're breaking my guard, right? Push right into his chest, roll right over the top, just like this.
So it seems that Paiva's game plan is going to be to get this fight to the mat. As you can see, Chin, who is in his corner, who is an excellent jiu-jitsu guy that I've trained with before, is telling him to start being more aggressive when you're on top. You've got to start posturing up and landing elbows and shots.
Just like you're doing right now. Everything's safe.
So I'm assuming that is the game plan for Paiva to get this fight to the mat, which is smart.
All right, round number 2 about to begin.
As the 2 touch gloves both come out again in the southpaw stance. As you can see, Gilvan's really in that like karate stance, landing those low high kicks.
There he goes downstairs, comes right back upstairs.
Yep.
And again, just working all levels here, Greg.
All levels. He's going from side to side. He's going from southpaw stance to righty. Smart move by Dinis, driving him to the fence, getting that single leg. Just drives him right to the ground.
He also grabbed hold of those ankles to prevent him from throwing more of those kicks. This way he can get his leverage and get on top. So now Paiva back in that familiar position where he wants to be.
He slides right to side control. And this is a tough position for Gilvan too, because like I said in the earlier fights, when you got a guy's head driven against the fence, it's very difficult to get up. But again, Gilvan, as you can see, wants to use this fence to get up. This is the easiest way to get up in a fight. If he can get his butt to the fence, he'll slide right up that fence. But Dinis is doing a great job. He's pulling him away a little bit. He's controlling his legs with his left hand and landing some big shots here. He's going to slide by this guard again. He can't let him get that triangle in. Yeah, he's free. Perfect. He's got to watch out for these up kicks here. This is where Gilvan could be very dangerous.
It's very tough. Santos,
he's got to lead in. He's got to lead in with his hips and keep his head back.
Not necessarily as dangerous.
Oh, nice axe kick.
When somebody's on top, but when he's on his back.
See, look at those up kicks are very dangerous. Great pass there by Dinis.
Anytime Paiva pops up back on his feet.
And you see, he keeps trying to separate those legs, and he's trying to step over into mount. I'd like to see him land some more shots to try to get Gilvan thinking a little bit here, and then he can try to move. You know, you got to punch for position. If he can land some more punches, it's going to make it much easier to get those passes as he goes right back to north-south. Could be looking for a head and arm choke here, as he is. See, right here, if he can squeeze tight enough, he's going to get that arm to go right across like a triangle choke. As he flattens out. Looks like he could be in a little bit, but he seems to be okay here.
Paiva just trying to exert his will.
This is a very heavy tapped out. Yeah, see, when you get in that position and you squeeze really tight, it's just like an arm triangle. But it's tough to tell because as soon as he dropped his hips and drops his weight, that choke comes right in.
Well, Dinis Paiva winning by submission here in round number 2. A huge win, huge comeback for Dinis Paiva.
That's a very, very big win for this young kid's career.
Oh, he definitely needed this one, Greg. He had lost 3 consecutive fights, comes out tonight, gets the fight to the ground where he wanted to get it, and he gets the submission in round number 2.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, he needed that win. Like we talked about before, he had some tough breaks early on in his career. He's fought some really tough guys as an amateur and as a pro. And this kid's very talented. He's got a very promising future. And that was the smart thing to do to get his, to break that streak, that loss streak.
We're going to see how this one went down, Greg, here in round number 2.
He's got that head and arm choke from the north-south, and as soon as he drops, he drops that right shoulder and puts his hips to the ground, it gets really tight like that.
And you're right, we really didn't see it coming till the very end.
No, because at first it didn't look that tight, because most guys when they're in that position will actually use their fist and push their arm out and separate themselves. You know what I mean? They'll separate their arms apart from each other, and it kind of loosens that choke up.
Well, Santos certainly unable to do so, and unfortunately for him, drops to 0-4. He's lost 4 consecutive fights in his professional career, and for Dinis Paiva now 2-3, winning for the first time since his debut. He's fought all 5 of his fights here at Twin Rivers. So this has really become his home, and so far so good for him. Big win. You can see the excitement, and well deserved. He really has some tough luck, like we talked about in those previous bouts. And only his second fight stepped in and took on a big challenge. So let's send it down to Bill Carpenter for the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 2 minutes, 14 seconds of round number 2. Your winner by a choke tap out in the red corner, DINIS Sweetbread Paiva.
That's a great win for Paiva, big win. Gilvan Santos, though, always an exciting fighter that everybody here loves to watch.